Hey, Wambogan World Entertainment, and it's official. Netflix have their next big show on their hands, and it's a game adaptation. What's the game? Well, it's Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed. Yep, they're going to make a live action TV series of this. Now, the partnership between these two companies apparently started back in 2020. I don't recall ever hearing about Ubisoft and Netflix signing a deal to work with each other, but apparently there is one. And it's taken them 5 years to finally say, hey, we're finally doing a show together. And it's hilarious because the Netflix guy is trying to say, they've been working on this thing forever. And it's like, well, according to this report, they've literally just signed on to do it. So how exactly have they been working on this since this deal was announced? But we shall have a look at this. Now, the Assassin's Creed games, I liked the original games. I know there's a few people who don't like them, think they're boring and stuff. I really did like them. I liked the story that was in them. Up to, I think, Origin is where it kind of got very rocky for me. It didn't help that they changed the controls and stuff. But it started to very much go downhill, and I hadn't played a game since then. And then, of course, we know what happened to the franchise, and especially that last game. It was like, ooh, you really kind of destroyed the whole franchise right there. But what were they going to do this show? Well, it sounds more like they're leaning in towards the original games, which is good news if you're a fan of the games. You definitely don't want them leaning into more of the newer games, and you sure as hell don't want them to lean into that original movie that was done, because that movie absolutely missed the point of the games and was just a horrendous disaster. But let's have a look at this article that talks about what we can expect from it. So it's saying, in a move that could offer a fleeting lifeline to a struggling publisher, Netflix has officially greenlit a live action series based on Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed franchise. The announcement, made on July 17th, follows nearly 5 years of development since the initial partnership between Netflix and Ubisoft was unveiled in 2020. Before I go on, do let me know in the comments, do you ever recall hearing about Netflix and Ubisoft signing a deal to work with each other? Because I sure as hell don't. And why is it taking 5 years for anything to come of it? Let us know in the comments if you remember or knew about that. So it's saying, Emmy nominee Robert Patino of DMZ, Westworld, and Sons of Anarchy, I don't ever remember hearing of DMZ, and David Weiner of Halo, Homecoming, and The Killing are set to serve as creators, showrunners, and executive producers, drawing on their backgrounds in, get this is weird the way they put this, dramatic and speculative storytelling. Never heard those being put together for what your shows are like. So it's saying, described as a high-octane thriller, the series will focus on the clandestine conflict between two ancient factions, the Templars, intent on shaping humanity's fate through domination and dissent, and the Assassins, who ostensibly defend free will. Traversing key historical moments, the narrative delves into themes of purpose, identity, destiny, fate, power, violence, greed, and vengeance. Yet, Patino and Weiner stress that at its heart, the show examines the value of human connection across cultures, across time, and the existential threats when such ties erode. In their joint statement, Patino and Weiner professed their fandom for the series since its 2007 debut, which has amassed over 230 million copies sold globally. They said, "We've been fans of Assassin's Creed since its release in 2007. Every day we work on this show, we come away excited and humbled by the possibilities," they noted, highlighting the blend of action elements like parkour with profound human dilemmas, while pledging to craft an experience for fans and novices alike. Peter Friedland, Netflix's vice president of scripted series, commented on the milestone as well, saying, "When we first announced our partnership with Ubisoft in 2020, we set out with an ambitious goal to bring the rich, expansive world of Assassin's Creed to life in bold new ways." Now, after years of dedicated collaboration, it's inspiring to see just how far this vision has come. So, I'm curious by the years of dedicated collaboration. You mean the 5 years that you've apparently done nothing? It's weird. And then it just goes on about the production team and who really cares about that. Again, there's always ways you can make this stuff work. Being a show, I think it could work. If you lean more into what the original games were, it could work. Now, there will be people who never played the games and don't really know what way it works. And the way it works was, you see that, like, oh, you're fighting in the medieval times and areas like that, and times of the Knight Templars and stuff like that. But in the actual game, what happens is, you're a guy called Desmond, and you're put into a machine. I can't remember what the machine is called. And it's a machine that allows the people to tap into your ancestors' memories through your blood. So their DNA is and memories are in your bloodstream. And the same will happen to you, you know, when your ancestor or your future grandkids, whatever, if they're put into it, they can unlock your memories and stuff like that. And they're basically looking for what is the egg, which the movie did use, but completely misused it from what it is in the game. And the Templars are looking for artifacts, and they want to go through Desmond's ancestral history to find where these artifacts are. So that's what the games were actually about. It was the Templars trying to still rule, but they needed all these artifacts to do so, and they have Desmond who they pretty much put into this machine and make you go back into your ancestral memories to find it. I'm pretty sure you play Desmond throughout at least the first 3 games. Just that the character, Ezria or something like that, I think that was the first game. Anyway, you played as this one character in the first game, but you were a different ancestor from the other games moving on. So I wonder if the show will do it that way. The one element that is a little concerning to hear them say is about the values of human connection. That's fine, but then it says across cultures and time. So the time part would assume that they are doing what the game did, where you start off with this character, but by the second game it's a different character in the past, that is. Across cultures, you would assume that means that because the first one, I think you're in Italy, and the second one, I think you're in like Spain or somewhere. The locations did move. No, I think you were still in Italy, but you were moving around different areas. I wonder if that's what they mean, and not like it's going to be filled with, oh look, we're in Italy in the past, you know, when the Romans were here, and oh look, everybody's diverse. You know, if they go that route, you're doomed. But if you do what the game was and stuff, you could be onto a winner. I actually think you could be onto a winner. It's just the fact that it's at Netflix and the way they're talking and stuff. Sounds like they might go kind of modern day-ish crap. We'll have to actually wait and see. But it's officially happening at Netflix. And again, do let me know if you ever recall hearing that Ubisoft and Netflix have a partnership in place since 2020. Because I sure as hell don't. And with that, and do let me know, are you actually interested in the show? And were you a fan of the games or not? Do let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Otherwise, the assassins will get you. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.